That was like my grandfather did. He spent 4 years in the Marines in the Pacific, fighting the Pacific, and then retired from the post office at 55, and he actually fished longer than he worked, which is not bad. But as many people here know, those days are long gone, and there's no reason for that. Not only are they not gone, but there's new attacks going on against our postal workers here in this country. And Mack, Julion, who's the president of the letter carriers here, local here in Chicago, is to tell us more about that. Welcome.
Good morning, 99. How we doing? First, I want to thank the organizers for allowing us to come out and share our story and our plight, and to inform you all here, what's going on with the Postal Service. I've been told a long time ago that knowledge is power. And to know what's truly going on with each one of us, we need to talk and we need to network, because we truly are indeed the 99. I want to thank everyone first on behalf of all the postal workers. Back on September 27th, postal workers all across the country rallied in every congressional district to get the word out, to get the truth out. And right here in Chicago, over 2,000 postal workers and supporters rallied down at the Governor's Plaza, and we're thankful for the support. How many people in this room realize or know that Benjamin Franklin was our first postmaster? How many people in this room know that the receiving that postal service, you're receiving a mail and having postal service in your community is a constitutional right? Yes. Yes, it is actually, it is written in the Constitution. How many people in this room know that not one dime of taxpayers' money goes towards this obligation? Not one dime, just stamps.
That's because
stamps,
I use your stuff.
Yeah. Stamps and Postal Service pays for everything, our gross wages and generous benefits, if you believe what you hear in the media. We've been hearing that the Postal Service is losing billions of dollars, that the internet is wiping us out, that everybody is paying their bills online now. No! I mean, if you listen to our postmaster, if you listen to some of these white-wing conservatives who want to get rid of the post office, we're no longer relevant. We're no longer needed. In fact, it has been proposed that the Postal Service needs to close over 3,500 postal facilities and processing plants across the country in order to save the post office. In fact, Illinois has the infamous distinction of having the most post office cited for closing in this country, well over 200. In fact, 14 right here in Chicago. I guess everybody on the west side must be paying their bills online. They've cited every post office on the west side of Chicago for closure. 2 in Inglewood. They're paying their bills online too in Inglewood. Chinatown, post office. Their sole post office in Chinatown cited for closure. They're proposing to lay off over 120,000 postal workers. Cut your mail service from 6 days a week to 5 days a week. Relax the standards. I have postal workers here today. When they say relax the standards, they mean that no longer would you get mail in Chicago to Chicago overnight. They will slow down what you all call snail mail. That'd be good for business, right? They also would like to void out our contracts and slash our benefits because the Postal Service is losing billions of dollars. What you don't hear is that the Postal Service generated over $65 billion of revenue last year. That the real reason the Postal Service is losing billions of dollars is because of this manufactured crisis, this man-made, Congress-made crisis. Back in 2006, the United States Congress passed postal reform. Now we were out there, we were rallying for it because we knew that there needed to be some type of reform. But as they do with these bills, they tacked in under the Bush administration this provision that mandated the Postal Service pre-fund our retirees' health benefits for the next 75 years. And they had to do so within a 10-year window. Within 10 years, pre-fund 75 years of our retirees' health benefits to a tune of something like $5.5 billion a year. Now, go with me a minute. If the Postal Service is no longer relevant, why do we need to pre-fund retirees' health benefits for the next 75 years? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Because this provision was put in there, obviously, to kill the Postal Service.
Yes.
There has long been a faction who wants to privatize the Postal Service. Go back to that $65 billion a year in revenue, right? They would like to privatize the Postal Service. They would like to cut mail delivery service. The more they cut mail delivery service, the less people will use the post office. The less people use the post office, the more money that we lose. Now, you got to say, well, if you're a postal worker, I know you don't mind having your retiree health benefits fully funded. Well, not only that, the other side of the coin is our pension fund. The United States Postal Service has overfunded our civil service retirement pension account by $50 to $75 billion, depending on which actuary you go to. One say 50 billion, one say 75 billion. You know, you start getting up to the billions, you're losing count. But our pension, our civil service retirement pension is overfunded by 50 billion. Our FERS retirement, Federal Employees Retirement System benefits is overfunded by $7 billion. So we say, okay, if you're so concerned about our retirees' health benefits for the next 75 years, why don't you take the overfunded money out of our pensions account and apply it towards our retirees' health benefit account? We don't have no problem with being fully funded in our pensions and our retirees' health benefit account, but it makes too much sense and it sounds too much like right. What they would rather do is take away what I mentioned earlier, your right, your constitutional right to receive mail service. We deliver to every address in this country 150 million homes a day. You build a home on a mountain, in a reserve, in a remote location, guess what? We'll get there. On the other side of the river, we'll canoe there. Put it down in the Grand Canyon, we'll take a donkey down. Arizona, we'll get up even earlier, ride a bike. We'll get your mail there. So, how has this obligation impacted the Postal Service? I mean, because you got to figure, yeah, we are, you know, the internet must have some kind of impact on your service, but realize this, we've been doing this for quite a while, and there's been different forms of communications that have come in place since the beginning of the Postal Service, since Benjamin Franklin was the first postmaster. You know, they had the telegraph. That was supposed to take us out.
Right.
The telephone surely was going to take us out. 30, 40 years ago, fax machines was going to take us out. But we're still there, we're still relevant, and we're constitutional. That's a constitutional right that you have to receive mail service. In fact, we're so good, and FedEx happens to be our two biggest customers. Because we go where they won't go. We go to every address. You walk outside, you may see Brown riding around. But in Odell, Illinois, and other remote locations, it's not profitable, thus they won't go there. That's why this is one issue, unfortunately, that Congress may come together on, but they may come together and do the wrong thing. There's two bills out there pending right now. In the Senate, Bill 1789, being billed as a bipartisan effort to save our Postal Service. They want to save our Postal Service not by doing the obvious things that I've already pointed out. They want to save the Postal Service by cutting mail delivery to 5 days in the next 2 years. By taking away your constitutional right now to have door-to-door delivery. They want to take away door-to-door delivery by the year 2014. You either have a P.O. box, they'll put a cluster box on the corner, if you don't have a mailbox on the curb. That's how they're proposing to save our postal service, and we say, hell no. The Postal Service, and we will share more of that with you later today. But we just want to let you know, it is quite needed for us to be together in this kind of format to talk, because as I said earlier, we are part of the 99. I remember speaking with our members a couple years ago when you all were going through that contract issue with the city and they were laying off CTA workers, and I told our workers, our turn is next. You see what they're doing to them brothers and sisters? They're putting their pay out there. Hey, look, we have to deliver mail, rain, snow, hail, gunfire, everything, in the city of Chicago, but at least we get to keep it moving. Right. You're going to have a captive audience to your back, so, we applaud what you do.
What's the other bill?
The other bill is H.R. 2309.
Is that the counterpart?
It was introduced by Daryl Issa, who is a starch opponent of working people and postal workers. I've asked some of our postal friends out in California, did somebody ring the bell twice too many at his house, because he really have it in for postal workers. His ideal is to just drop a nuclear bomb inside the post office, blow it up and privatize, because he happened to be the richest man in Congress. So I'm glad to be here today. We'll share more with you later. I told you 5 minutes is a challenge for me. I thank you all for your support. We're behind you.